telling us your name and where you're working and what courses do you have in charge?
Okay, right now I'm working in a public school. I'm teaching English, of course, and in seventh and eighth grade. That's it.
Mhm. Okay, perfect. And how long have you been an English teacher?
For almost like 13 years already.
Okay. Okay, teacher. So I have some questions related to language and culture. So we're
Okay,
going to start with the first question, and
sure.
it goes like this. What do you think is the relationship between language and culture?
Okay, language and culture actually they come hand in hand because you can teach English through culture by like giving them some information about how they act. For example, Japanese people or British people, they have different kinds of cultures and manners that they actually use. So we can actually teach that.
Okay, thank you. Second question is, what is the influence of culture in the process of a foreign language?
Okay. The influence of culture. It could be like, for example, when we greet in a different language, or in a different culture, I'm sorry, and we greet differently, actually. Some people say good morning, some people say hello, some people say hi, and according to that, like culture, some people bow, some of them they shake their hands, they kiss on the cheek. And for example, Russian culture, they kiss on the mouth, man to man. They actually kiss on the mouth. I don't know. I would never do that, but yeah, that's what they do.
Okay, great. So, which cultural expressions do you know countries have through language?
Culture expressions.
Mhm.
Like for
I
example, some
think,
people say,
uh-huh.
"What's up?"
Yeah.
Uh, um, if we're talking about English, yeah, that's how they do it. And what else? Could be like some of the people they I don't know, they hug.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I think that what you answered before has a lot to do with this question as
yeah,
well.
actually,
I was
I
looking at the question and they are very similar.
okay, yeah, I wasn't going to answer like the same thing. So yeah, something like that, like expressions.
Hmm. Okay, so number four says, why do you think it is important to have an oral tradition in a country?
To know more about their culture. It
In
is
an
very
oral,
important.
their oral tradition, why is it important to have like language in a country?
Okay, when we have the language, when we have the oral part, we can get their own their own culture. Like we can get some expressions, some slangs,
Hmm.
some things that they actually do. So that is basically orally when we speak.
And it's
Uh,
also like very particular, right, of a region.
yes, exactly. Actually,
Okay.
and their like the vocal part, their pronunciations,
Oh
and all.
yeah, and like
Yeah,
the accents as well,
accents, exactly. The accents are very common on that.
because English, for example, is we can you speak it in many countries, but in so many different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Like guy.
all right. So number five says, what do you think? This is a very tricky question, but there's no right or wrong. It's just your opinion. Do we teach English? Sorry, do we teach language using culture, or do we teach culture using language?
No, which actually we use the culture. We can use the culture to teach. For example, I love cooking, and I know some history of a potato and the chocolate as well. So actually, if I give them a potato to my students, I give them the potato and I tell them, okay, try to investigate about where does the potato come from, or the chocolate, where does the chocolate come from. So they start saying, okay, the chocolate is from a fruit that is from cocoa. Okay, so where is it growth? And people normally start investigating about, okay, Mexico, and when they used to buy women with cocoa, and how the Aztecs people used to use it as money. So that's why using the culture and everything and investigating and giving them some tips, they can start learning a language in an oral way. They can actually interact among them and tell them, okay, I investigated this and investigated that, and through the culture they can learn a lot.
So practically, what you're saying is that you can introduce culture through language by maybe activities, tasks, homeworks, etc. Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Next and last question, teacher. Do you take into account culture in the strategy that you use in your English classes? I know that you do because I know you, but it's just a question. And can you give me some examples?
The one that I just said, like teaching them some food. For example, when I use a book that on the Unit 13, they have like food, and I love food.
I
You know
know.
that I'm so, and I give them, okay, this is a fruit like the avocado, chocolate, the cocoa, the any kind of fruit or something like that, and let's investigate about those things. Okay, I'm going to give you some clues that they
Mhm.
can use it through language, so they can start like investigating. And first of all, they have to do what they have in their minds, and then after that they can start like investigating and getting some information by themselves. That's it.
Yeah, I have seen that you, well, particularly you use this activity a lot with your students about cooking and how they find out about different traditional cuisine from other countries, and that makes them be able to learn cultures and practice their English at the same time. So that's one of the like examples of this homework.
And you can do it with animals, with science, with social studies, with religion, with actually with math and geography, and
Mhm.
yeah, and algebra, those things. You can use it. It's good.
All right, teacher Luis, thank you so much for your help.
Oh,
And that's it for today.
thank you, teacher Paula.